Hi there, hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson I will teach you arithmetic sequence. Of course, there is a PDF file versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. Let's say we have 6 and then 10 and 14 and 18 and so on. So 6 this is first term. And this is second term. This is term 3 and term 4 and so on. So if we have term 2 minus term 1, that is the second term minus first term. So that will give me 10 minus 6. That is equal to 4. And if we use term 3 minus term 2, so term 3 minus term 2, that will give me, and term 3 is 14 minus term 2, that is 10. So therefore, we have 14 minus 10. So that give me 4. And if we use term 4 minus term 3, also give us 4 as well. So that means we have a common difference. Okay, let's just write D means common difference. Okay, D is equal to 4. So therefore, 6, 10, 14, 18, and this sequence is arithmetic sequence because we have a common difference of 4. So please keep that in mind. So with arithmetic sequence, term 2 minus term 1 is term 3 minus term 2. So in general, so the common difference, D is term n plus 1 minus term n, or term n minus term n minus 1. So that is the common difference. Okay, so remember that for me. So let's just go through a couple examples. First one, so find the value of x if x, 9, 12, and so on is in arithmetic sequence. So we know that for arithmetic sequence, so term 2 minus term 1 is exactly the same as term 3 minus term 2. So now we just apply. So term 1, term 2, and term 3, and so on. And we know that this is an arithmetic series, so therefore it must have a common difference. So in another word, term 2 minus term 1, which is 9 minus x, is exactly the same as term 3 minus term 2. So term 3 is 12, term 2 is 9. And then we know that 12 minus 9 is 3. And this one 9 minus x. So what I do, I move the x on this side and the 3 on this side. So 9 minus 3, because of positive 3, move on that side becomes negative 3. So 9 minus 3, which is 6. So this is 6. And the negative x is moved on that side, become positive. So therefore, x is 6. So there you go. Second one. So find the value of y. So first of all, we know that term 2, that is y minus term 1, that is 21, is exactly the same as 33 and minus y. Now we just solve for y. So we put y on one side and a number on the other side. So this y here is negative. So better if I move this on the side becomes positive. So therefore, I just write this down. Y plus y, and this negative 21 here, I move this on that side, becomes minus, becomes plus. So therefore, that will give me 33 plus 21. So 2y is equal to 54, because 33 plus 21 is 54. So now I divide by 2 on both sides because I want to get rid of these 2 here. So therefore, y must give me 27. So there you go. Now part C. So again, so we have term 1 is 15, term 2 is 2p minus 1, and term 3 is 27. So we just find the common difference. Okay, so the common difference is term 3 minus term 1 is exactly the same as term 3 minus term 2. So the common difference is term 2, that is 2p minus 1 minus term 1, that is 15, is equal to term 3, which is 27 minus term 2. But then remember, term 2 has more than one term. So therefore, we need to minus and brackets, okay? Because minus the whole lot. So that means minus 2p minus 1. So what I do now is I just collect like terms on the left-hand side and expand the bracket on the right-hand side. So we have negative 1 minus 15. So that gives me minus 16. So we have 2p minus 16, which give me 27. Now to expand this, because no number in front of the brackets, that means 1, okay? So negative 1 times 2p is negative or minus 2p. And negative 1 times a negative 1 give me plus 1. So there you go. So now what I do is I move the p on one side and the number on the other side. So we have minus 2p here. We move in here, so that will give me plus 2p. And 16, I move on that side, becomes, because it's minus, so move over becomes plus. So let me just write this down. So 2p, and then this negative 2p, I move on that side, so become plus 2p. The 27, I write this down, plus 1, I write down first, because of negative 16 move over, become plus 16. So there you go. Now just collecting the like terms. So 2p, another 2p, so 4p. And 27 plus 1 plus 16. So I just quickly put down on the calculator. 27 plus 17. So 44. So 44. And I just divide by 4 on both sides. So get rid of this 4. And I divide this by 4. So therefore, 44 divided by 4 is 11. So therefore, P is 11. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi there, I'm back. How do you go? So let me go through them with you, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So we know that 32 is term 1, P is term 2, and 20 is term 3. Now because it is an arithmetic series, so therefore it has a common difference. So in other words, term 2 minus term 1, which is the same as term 3 minus term 2. So we just use P minus 32, that is term 2 minus term 1. So it's the same as term 3, that is 20 minus term 2, which is P. So now what I do, I just move P on the other side and numbers on the other side. So that's what we do. So now what I do, I just go this P here, move to this side, it becomes positive. So I just write this P down. And then we add P, because it's minus, move on this side, become positive. And then the negative 32, I move on this side, become positive. So 20 plus 32. So now 2p, because p plus p is 2p. And then what we do, we just add 20 with 32. So 20 plus 32 is 52. So 52. Now we just divide everything by 2 and divide this by 2. So that cancel out. On the left hand side, leave with p. So which is, so 52 divided by 2 is 26. So therefore, p is 26. And I hope you got it correct. Part C. Again, term 1 is 13. Term 2 is 2q, and term 3 is 27. So because it's an arithmetic series, so we just go term 2 minus term 1 will give us the difference. So it's the same as term 3 minus term 2. So term 2 minus term 1 is 2q minus 13. It's the same as term 3, that is 27, minus term 2. So term 2 is 2q. So let me just write this down, 2q. Now, so what I do now is I just move q on one side and number on the other side. So this 2q here, which can just move on that side, becomes positive. Okay, so let me write this down. So we have 2q, and this 2 here, I just write it down. And the negative 2q move on this side, become plus 2q. And this 27, I write it down. And we have negative 13. So we move on that side, becomes plus 13. So let me just write this down. So there you go. So now what I do, I just collect the like terms. So 2q plus 2q give me 4q. So 4q. And we have 27 plus 13. So 27 plus 13 will give me 4g. So 4g here. So therefore q is equal to 10. So there you go. Part C. So term 1 is 19 and term 2 is 16. So we go term 2 minus term 1. That is 16 minus 9 is same as term 3. 5t minus 3. And we minus term 2. So which is 16. Don't forget, okay? Term 3 minus term 2 is exactly the same as term 2 minus term 1. So 16 minus 9 is 7. And negative 3 minus 16 give me minus or negative 19. So 5t minus 19. So what I do now is I use this negative 19 here. And I move on this side, becomes plus 19. So 27 plus 19 should give me 26. So let me just write this down. 26 equal 5t. So now I just divide this by 5. And I divide this by 5. So that cancel out. So therefore t is equal to, so 5 go to 26 is 5 times and remainder 1, so 1/5. Or you can write 5.2 if you like. Last one. Again, we just follow the process. So term 2 minus term 1 is exactly the same as term 3 minus term 2. So term 2 is 2t minus 2. And we minus term 1. So term 1 is x. Will give me term 3, which is 4x minus 9 minus term 3. But then because term 3 has more than one term, so we have to open and close the brackets, okay? Keep that in mind. So bracketed, so 2x minus 2, that is term 2. So now what I do, on the left hand side, I collect like terms, and on the right hand side, I remove the brackets first, okay? So we have 2x and we minus x. So give me x. And then negative 2 or minus 2, I write that down. So now on the right hand side, I just remove the brackets. So this one, I just write it down. And no number in front of brackets, that means 1. Okay, so negative 1 times 2x is minus 2x. And negative 1 times negative 2 becomes plus 2. So there you go. So on the right hand side, what I do, I just collect the like terms first. So on this side here, I just put minus 2. That will give me, so 4x minus 2x, so will give me 2x. And we have negative 9 plus 2. You just simply put that on a calculator if you like. Will give us negative 7 or minus 7 if you like. So now what I do, I move x on one side, number on the other side. Now because of this x here is bigger than this, so what I do, I leave as it is. I move this x on that side, okay, instead. And then this 7 here, minus 7, I move on this side. So this means that on the right hand side is live with 2x minus x. And on the left is minus 2 plus 7. It's the same as 7 minus 2. So therefore, this is x. And this is 5. So therefore, x is equal to 5. So there you go. I hope you got all of them correct, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.